Once they're comfortable balancing in that static position, you're going to slide the snowboarder back to the center position. They're going to hold onto the bar with both hands. And we're going to put the simulator into power mode. Power mode basically works to hold the board in place and lets your student push the board away. So it's a real good intro to actually using the simulator, but without introducing any real movement or rebound yet.
The power mode around level 3 is good to start with for someone smaller, and then it goes up to around 5.
This is going to give it enough rebound to hold the rider up, but not enough to actually push back on them very hard.
If a student is feeling like they're going to slip out, we need to raise the resistance level.
Once they're set up in the center of the bar with power mode on, have them gently start to slide the board away from them. What they'll find is as they slide the board flat, the board will slide in the simulator. As soon as they increase their edge angle or tilt the board at all, the simulator is going to push the board back to center. This is a really good way for them to start to find that balance point and see what it feels like to have the simulator push back against them.
They're going to be able to extend off of the edge, let the board come up and underneath them, and move out away from them onto the new edge, flexing into it with their lower body, and then be able to stand up.
You can encourage them to push the board as far away from them as they feel comfortable, and let them do that multiple times, both toe and heel, really focused on the flex and extension of the ankles, knees, and hips. Give them time to play and really feel this movement.
The student is on the simulator, we're in power mode, and they're able to find that balance of getting over an edge and moving on to that next edge. We're gonna make a change and transition from the power mode to the regular mode on the simulator. So a little safety tip here is make sure the student is holding on to the bar with both hands in front of them and that the board is nice and flat. Once you get out of the power mode, the simulator is gonna have zero resistance and you can easily slip out and fall, and you don't want the student to do that. So get the student to be flat, hold on to the bar with both hands while we transition from the power mode over to the regular mode.
When your snowboarder is comfortable in power mode and really starting to get a feel for that balance, we can move the simulator back into normal operations and set the speed at around 70 kilometers per hour. This is a really good setting for beginning to snowboard, and it's a really comfortable speed for people to start to get to know the balance on the snowboard simulator. We're going to keep both hands on the simulator to start with, and the reason for this is really to focus on the movements they're making with their ankles, knees, and hips. These are the really key movements to steer the snowboard. And we want them focused on that, so they're going to keep both hands on the bar and begin to just move the snowboard underneath them.
You want them to be able to extend from the lower body, get their center of mass, come up and over the snowboard onto that new edge.
Anytime the board is disengaged, it's really important to keep it as a nice flat base here. If you start to tip it and it's not engaged in one of the modes, really easy to end up falling on your butt here.
You need to have this position, both hands, when you switch from the power mode over to the regular mode. For that beginner stage, you have both hands on the bar. He's looking forward, looking at the simulator, going back and forth, just like in power mode. He's got a nice flexion and extension happening, flexing to get the board underneath him, extending the board out and away from him to get from one edge over to the next. As the instructor, I'm looking at the board and the angles, and if he's able to make it nice and even from toe side to heel side and heel side to toe side. Explore those movements. They got the two hands on there. Let them go from one side to the next. Let them feel that, let them experience that, let them explore those movements.